Hello, Lopez Academy parents and students. I'm Scott Carroll, principal at Dr. Manuel M. Lopez Academy of Arts and Sciences. We are just finishing our first week of school, our first 3 days, and we know it's been a challenge for a lot of us. It's new because we're starting in distance learning, but we're also very proud of our students and our teachers for making this jump to start the school year. And the reason I'm sending this video out is to support students and parents with some of the issues we've been having and hopefully answering some of your questions going forward. So anything we don't get answered, please reach out to us, but hopefully we can answer a lot of your questions with this video. So some of the things we're going to talk about are attendance, technology issues, the student daily schedule during distance learning, Zoom links, most importantly, how students get to them, and how you contact teachers. And it's very important that your student is contacting teachers as well via email. All right, so we're going to start by talking about attendance. One thing that's important to know is that we understand that many students were not able to connect to class these first couple of days. They may have missed classes here or there, or even a full day in some cases, because of technology issues or struggles. Understand, while we have to mark students absent for that, we understand that really it's a technology issue and we're not going to hold it against the student. It's nothing to worry about. It's our goal by the end of this week was to make sure that all students could connect. So this has been 3 days of working on that to get better and better at that. So please express to your student, and so you know it is not important if they missed the first couple of days in attendance. We are not going to hold that against them. Our goal, like I said, is to get all students connected and know how to connect. So not to worry if students miss some of the first couple of days. Also know that teachers are getting used to using Zoom through attendance. In the spring, we used Zoom extensively, but teachers were not taking attendance through Zoom. Now we are required to do so. Know that teachers are learning how to use Zoom for attendance as well. So it's a learning experience for them. So that could also explain some of the attendance issues. Once again, not to worry if you are marked absent at all during the first 3 days. We're gonna take that upon us. That's our problem, not your problem, and nothing to worry about. Moving on for after attendance. Is iPad issues. This is probably the #1 issue that we've worked with students and parents so far this school year. Many of our student iPads, because they had to be recently wiped by the district, did not have the Google Classroom or the Zoom apps that were installed. Both of those are very important, obviously, for students. So when we are able to reset those, especially if they're reset here at our school, almost all the time, those apps are restored and we no longer have any issues. But if your student does not have the Zoom or the Google Classroom app, it's going to be very important that you contact us, or as soon as you can, between 8 and 4, bring your student iPad down here so that we can fix it here at the school site. This is going to be very important to do so immediately. We do have on-site tech support daily. So we have between 3 and 4 hours every day of a district technician here to help out. But we also have an office staff and myself that are willing and able to do a lot of the basic working with students and apps on our own. So usually you can just walk right into it, and then sometimes it's a short wait, sometimes not. We can address tech issues right away. Our goal is to fix it as quickly as possible so students can continue to learn and go into their classes. Parents, if you'd rather, instead of dropping by, if you'd rather have a specific appointment time with one of our technicians, you just need to call our office at 805-385-1545, and you can make a specific appointment time instead of just dropping in. All right, I'm going to transition now to our daily schedule. We have shared our other copy of our daily schedule several times. We're hoping that this one is a more simplified version. If you notice, it is color-coded to show the different parts of the student day. So if you notice kind of the reddish orange there, that is all the live times. This will tell you every single time during the week that a student is expected to live Zoom with their teachers. So if you look at Monday, when we live Zoom on Monday, we expect that students are going to be live Zooming between 9 and 9:30 for period 1, between 10:15 and 10:45 for period 2, and 11:30 to 12 for period number 3. These are not optional. They are required for students to be there so that we can note their attendance. If you also notice, after each one of the classes that students live Zoom, there is a work time. So teachers will give instruction, they'll deliver a lesson, and then students will have 45 minutes to apply that to a project or an assignment that directly relates to the lesson. So no, that's built in for every single time that students live Zoom. They will follow it up with some work time. And that's why there's a gap in between the live Zoom sessions. You can see that depending upon the day of the week, there are different live Zooms. You also notice on Wednesday, it is all green, meaning that green is independent work time for students. So on Wednesday, students will not have any live sessions with teachers at all. But please understand, Wednesday is not a day off for students. Students should have assignments to work on from all their classes on Wednesday, as well as each afternoon during independent work time. So Wednesday is not a free day, it's not a day off. Teachers will be checking in with students on those days, but there will not be any live Zoom sessions on Wednesdays. We will be emailing a copy of this schedule, the simplified schedule home for all our families this weekend. And so you know, hopefully this helps you understand a little bit better and see a little bit more clearly when students should be live Zooming as opposed to working independently. All right, so speaking of Zoom and live Zoom, we want to talk about the 3 different ways that students can find their live Zoom links. One of the challenges for students has been to access the links they need to get to their classes the first couple of days. So there's actually 3 different places for students to check for live Zooms, for the links to the live Zooms. The first and probably most common for students is Google Classroom. Students should have the Google Classroom icon like it is on this page on their iPad. If they don't, once again, we need to bring it on into us so we can reset it and get it on there as soon as possible. It's very important, especially for the next couple of weeks, that they have this. So many teachers are sending out the links through Google Classroom. Students first, though, need to join the classroom. The second way students can get links is through Canvas. Canvas is a brand new learning management system for us this year. In a couple of weeks, we'll be to the point where all classes, all 6 of a student's classes will be in Canvas. It'll be one place that a student can go to get all their Google links, excuse me, their Zoom links, all their class assignments, their teacher videos, everything they need to know for that class will be held within Canvas. So we're just a short couple of weeks away from that. In the meantime, we need to check multiple spots, but Canvas is going to be a nice one-stop shop for students and for parents in monitoring work that needs to be done, grades, all those things. The last place that students can access Zoom links is through their student email. Every single student in the Oxnard School District has a Google email account already, a Gmail account. It has not changed if they are a continuing student. If they're brand new to us, they should have got their account information. If not, call the school. But Gmail is very important for students to check that because teachers email through that. And most importantly, we want our students to be able to know how to email any of their teachers with questions at any time. So we're going to talk a little more about that in a second, and I'm going to show you how students can access that. But if you do have any issues with your student username for the Gmail or with the or with logging in to the Gmail password, you're going to call the school. We can definitely help you out with that. But that is very important that students access their email on a daily basis. All right, so speaking of that, if your student has not already logged into Gmail in their Oxnard School District Gmail account and needs to know how to do so, we're going to walk you through that. It's very simple. You can go to google.com or to gmail.com, and in the upper right-hand corner, you will see the sign-in button. Students will simply click on the sign-in button. They will enter their Oxnard School District email address, which is going to be usually their last name, an initial, and a number as the username. And then they have a different one for the password. But no, their email address is more than just the last name, the first initial, and the number. It's also, you need to add to that @student.oxnardsd.org. So if you have any problems with this, please give us a call. We'll be happy to walk you through it, or you can stop by the school and we will show students between 8 and 4 how to do this, but it is very important that all students learn how to do this. So back to our email here. So once students sign in, the next page is going to look like this. Once they have logged in, they need to look for the waffle, it's called, the 9 dots in the upper right-hand corner. This is kind of like a menu that's going to navigate students and give students different options for applications that they may need. So once they've logged in, they're going to click on that waffle, those 9 dots in the upper right-hand corner. When they click on that, they're going to see a whole bunch of apps that come down, or icons for apps at least that come down, including Google Classroom, including Canvas. Canvas is the one that looks a little bit like a wheel or a Ferris wheel that's in red and white. It should be on all student iPads already. You can also see the Gmail. All those should be visible when students click on the waffle. Once they've logged in, they should be able to click directly on any of these icons to access either Canvas or Google Classroom or Gmail. All right, so if you're having problems with any of the Gmail issues, like I said, please either reach out to us via phone, we can give you the passwords, or if you want us to show you or show your student how to access it, come on down to the school between 8 and 4. All right, so next question is, how can you communicate with teachers? And I say you, meaning both parents and students. We expect our students to communicate via email with teachers and for students to check their emails every single day for information from their teachers. So email is usually the most efficient way to communicate with teachers. Keep in mind that most of our teachers are not physically on our campus right now. They are working distantly, just like the students are. So it's important that, that if you want to contact a teacher, you do so via email. You can see on the right-hand side, I did a screenshot of our webpage, so you can find every single teacher email address right on our webpage. If you can't find a webpage, you can go to oxnardsd.org and then select us as a school. You can also go to Google and just search Lopez Academy Oxnard, and you will find our email or our website very quickly. So all the email addresses are there. As I mentioned earlier, once Canvas is rolled out in September, you should also be able to communicate with teachers through that platform. But in the meantime, email is the best way to do so. All right, so we are almost done here, but I want to make sure that everyone knows where they're going on Monday. Monday is our next day of school. So take a look here. I took a screenshot of just the Monday schedule from the schedule I shared earlier. So on Monday, August 24th, look at the arrow there, period 1. Every single student at Lopez Academy should be logging in to live Zoom with their teacher from 9 to 9:30 on Monday. That's their period 1 teacher. Then you can see their period 2 teacher. They should be doing the same at 10:15, period 3 at 11:30, and those are the only live sessions that students need to Zoom into on Monday. On Tuesday will be periods 4, 5, and 6, and so on. So hopefully this is giving you some help here. Hopefully that this schedule that we shared and we'll email to you will make it a little bit easier, but it is very important, like I said, for students to make sure they attend each one of their live Zooms because they are getting attendance credit for those. All right, last thing I want to cover are student Zoom expectations. Most of our students are doing a great job with Zoom, but it is very important that they follow all of these rules so that they don't get themselves in trouble or miss out on attendance or on assignments or credit because of this. So we have school-wide student Zoom expectations. We have 6, I'll say 6+, because the first one is not one of our 6, but it is very important. Students, when they log into Zoom, their name needs to be their first name and their last name, just as it would be on the teacher roll sheet, so that teachers can take attendance. If they don't have their name there, or they only have their first name, or they have a nickname or anything else, they're not going to get credit for attendance on that day. We need to make sure that it's their first name and their last name. If they have problems with that, they can ask their teachers. Teachers can very quickly show them how to change the name, but it's very simple to do so, and most of our students already know that. So it's very important to start with first and last name in the Zoom room. We want our students on time to Zoom. It's important they're there for the whole time as well. So on time, staying for the whole Zoom session. We know things happen. If they somehow get kicked out, they need to get back in as quickly as possible. If students are leaving halfway through, they risk losing attendance for that Zoom session. Cameras on. We need to know that students are there. If we don't see you, we don't know that you're there. So we expect that our students do have their video on throughout the lesson. Parents, if there is a reason why your student does not need to have their video on, or you have something you need to share with us, please contact us privately. But we do expect that students have their cameras on. If the camera's not on, we don't know if they're participating, we don't know if they're there. We want to make sure that your student is maximizing their learning time. We want students to be muted. Unless the teacher has asked them to unmute or asked them a question, all students should remain muted throughout the lesson. Participate. Being there is not enough. You need to actually participate. We want our students ready to answer questions, ready to volunteer, ready to work as soon as they're called upon. So make sure your student is actively participating like they would in a normal classroom. Show respect. This goes for everything. We want our students to be respectful. We want them to not talk over other students, to listen to the teacher, all the things we would normally do. This is not a problem for most of our students. And last, be prepared for class. If your teacher has asked you to do something in preparation for the class, whether it's homework or watch a video, make sure you do it ahead of time as a respect to yourself and your class. And if students follow these rules, they should be very successful during our live Zoom session. Our job is we want to make sure we can maximize that 30 minutes of Zoom as much as possible, because we know it's less instructional time than students would have had in person. So we want to make sure that every second counts. So that's all we have for this video. I'm going to encourage you to reach out. Just know we're going to continue for the first couple of weeks to send out videos and updates via email. You can always check our website. Our website is a great resource. And always reach out to us at the office at 385-1545 with any other questions. Email the teachers. We're here to support you. We want to make it a very successful start of the year. Thank you, students and parents who have helped us out so far and got us off to a great start. So thank you and have a great rest of your day.